Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
Somewhere between science and superstition.
We have such sights to show you.
Strange Eons. Welcome to Strange Eons Radio mini episode, what we call short Eons. That's Eric Morgan over there.
Yep, Bessie.
That's Vanessa Williams over there.
Hello, good day to you.
I'm Kelly Young. The whole point of these shows, guys, is while we are all still in this stupid fucking lockdown, you get a chance to watch something maybe you hadn't thought of. We will suggest a TV show, sometimes a podcast, sometimes a comic book, whatever it is, something that you can stream easily and might not have thought of on your own. But before we can do that, we have to take a slight break, hear from our sponsors, and then we'll be right back.
Ooh, that was really good.
Oh, shit, that was stupid. Hey, guys, this week
Water, quick.
I want to suggest Dead Wax.
We're looking for the Lytton lacquer.
What is it?
A single copy of a record pressed by Lyle Lytton that was never released.
Anyone who's heard it is dead or insane.
Eddie, you can't find something that doesn't exist.
I'm gonna find it. We're gonna listen.
Dead Wax is I think it's 6 or 8 episodes on Shudder. It is, as Vanessa might say, hipster horror.
It's super hipster horror. I didn't even know it was the genre until I saw this thing.
It takes place in the wacky world of vinyl collecting. And I am a vinyl collector, although I'm not really. I just like records. I don't pay extreme amounts of money for this. And I pass on just about every rare thing that most people go for. But this is kind of fun. It's got no Rotten Tomatoes score for some reason. Huh. And maybe it's because it's hard to quantify it. When I say 6-8 episodes, each episode is a different length. It can run anywhere from 8 minutes to 20 minutes. However long this chapter needed to be.
Nice.
And it was written and directed by Graham Resnick, who was mostly a sound guy, but he's a sound guy for a ton of genre films like Stakeland and House of the Devil and The Innkeepers and stuff like that. In this, a young woman she's a young female detective. It's always interesting, right, to have a show set in contemporary times, but you've got a detective in it. She's a PI who's hired to track down a very rare vinyl record that is rumored to be able to kill you if you listen to it. I know, Eric, this is right up your alley.
I got to check this out.
It has the very tried and true satanic metal trope of backmasking in it, and that's where the deadly sounds are hidden. I thought it was very fun. It's super easy to watch. The installments are really short and everything. Nobody of real note in it except for Ted Raimi pops up as a vinyl expert, and he's kind of fun. We all like him. He's Sam Raimi's brother. I mean, we don't all like him in person. I hear he's a real dick, but
All right.
but I did enjoy this show, and probably because I do buy vinyl records, but I know that's become a thing that a lot of people are getting back into. So if you do and you like this kind of stuff, this is right up your alley.
Cool.
Awesome. Okay, well, I'll go ahead and go next. Good suggestion, actually. That is a really fun, interesting, unique series. I second your hipster decisions.
You don't have to lie for me, Vanessa. All the listeners can tell what you're doing.
You better have a really good flask or a microbrew while you're watching.
Wow. I feel attacked.
You got to have a mini cactus in the corner. Your whole life has got anyway.
Okay, please, no, continue to insult me.
I'm just, that was my impression when I watched it. But it's an interesting, unique thing. Anyway, so for my choice this week, I'm actually choosing something that's a little bit controversial. I'm going to go with the series on Netflix, Another Life.
We interrupt this broadcast for an emergency alert. The Department of Defense is confirming reports of an unknown object entering Earth's atmosphere.
An alien artifact landed on Earth. We need to know why. And they want me to lead the mission. The trip is 6 months.
If all goes as planned.
I am coming back. I promise you.
This is the most important mission in the history of humankind. It's time.
Here we go.
We are on our way to a planet full of aliens.
I found something. How many of these things do you think are out there?
Our first contact with an alien civilization is a risk.
People will die.
We are all here for the same reason. To protect the lives of the people back on Earth.
Wait, what's that?
I am gonna get home.
Don't let go!
What's happened here is going to happen on Earth.
Oh God, no.
I have to save the crew.
Save Earth.
What if by doing this, we launch into an interstellar war?
We don't have a choice.
Which I think I've mentioned in passing here before. It's had one series in 2019. It's actually been renewed for a second series. A lot of people really disliked it. The premise is this kind of giant monolithic thing falls to Earth, and people can't figure out how to communicate with it. It's something clearly alien. And in order to figure out what's going on, a space crew goes on a journey to go to its home world, where this thing has come from, to try and get more answers, because they're not sure if this is the sign of an invasion or what's going on. It stars Katie Sackhoff, which you guys would know from Battlestar Galactica. It's got actually a pretty decent list of actors in it. Her husband is played by Justin Chatwin, who I can't remember exactly what he's been in right now, but he's very familiar. And all the actors in it are actually super strong. I like the cast a lot. But on Rotten Tomatoes, it does have a score of, it's got a 60% audience, but a 6% critic.
Wow. Why? I mean, what you just described sounds really cool, actually.
This is why. Because it steals from anything and everything sci-fi. There is a lot of stuff in here that, and I'm a huge fan of sci-fi, so I knew while watching it, I was like, wow, that's from The Arrival, and that's from 2001, and that's from, whatever. Everything about it feels very ripped off. I just personally think they do it in a really good way. Like, I knew the whole time that what I was watching was being stolen left, right, and center from other things, but it was still really intriguing watching. There's like a hologram on the ship that's sort of the co-captain, and one of the people on the ship, there's like a mutiny, and Katie Sackhoff is the captain. There's a mutiny and they try to like rewrite him, but then he like stops caring about humanity. So he goes like kind of rogue AI. So there's like a good episode about that. There's a lot in there that I really enjoyed digging through. So I don't know. I would highly recommend checking it out if you're a big sci-fi fan, even if it does feel very familiar in places. I thought it was a lot of fun if you're willing to put that to the side. And Katie Sackhoff, man, like, it's so much fun to see her again in like a larger role.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes we like familiarity, right?
Yeah.
I was okay. I mean, like, it is a little, I guess it could be insulting if you're watching it and you're like, they didn't even try. But I think they tried very hard. I think they just, there's a lot of great sci-fi out there, and why not?
Yeah. You're kind of making fun of hipsters just a moment ago, and that falls into one of the categories that drives me batshit crazy with movie reviewers. Mm-hmm. Where it's just, well, this is just ripping off this. Oh, good, clever, you figured it out. Guess what? Everything you've watched, read, or listened to in your life has been borrowed or ripped off from something else.
Completely.
Just because you feel the need to point it out and go, look at me, I'm so smart for seeing this. I'm not impressed by that. So
yeah, I don't think that should be the only criteria. Like, if it's literally a 1-to-1 like stealing, that's one thing. But if it's just borrowing elements to increase its universe and its storytelling and its character development, I feel like I give it a lot more room. I think it's okay.
Was this a Shudder, or not Shudder, but a Netflix original? It
is a Netflix original, okay. And they've only got one series out so far. Again, I think it's, why didn't I write down the number of episodes? I think it's like 6 episodes. Okay. Maybe it's more. Maybe it's 10. Shoot.
11.
Well, is it 11? Did you look it up?
Yeah. At least Sackhoff's been in 11 episodes, I'm assuming.
Oh, sure. Okay, then it's 11 episodes. Thank you so much. I feel very silly about that. But it has been greenlit for a second series, which I'm excited about because I really want to know what happens next. It reminds me to a certain extent of, there's a graphic novel series called Letter 44. I feel like there's some really interesting crossovers where, have you guys read Letter 44?
No, don't know that one.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Okay. It's called Letter 44 because it's the 44th president opening up anyway. So, or something. Maybe that's not why it's called it. Anyway, it has similar, like, we're going into space and what the hell, this alien's doing weird things, and like this thing that we thought meant this thing isn't that thing, and oh shit, like we left Earth exposed. Anyway, check out Letter 44.
I'm writing that down right now.
It's super. I mean, again, I'm such a sci-fi nerd. Like, I love this crap. You could just feed it to me all day, every day. I'd be in.
Sorry, write that down. I cut this shit out. I know what's going on.
Exactly. So long as you know. That's all that matters.
What, Kelly, what did you say again? What was your recommendation?
Dead wax.
Thank you.
We're still recording and you still have to give us yours,
Yeah, I know.
He was just taking this moment to get some homework done.
Well, that sounds pretty good, Vanessa.
Yeah, I think you guys should check it out if we've all got time. It's a really great escape piece, so dig in.
Okay, so my pick for this week is much, much lower budget, I'm pretty sure, than either the ones you guys were talking about. It's 2011 Absentia.
Danny? Honey?
these, let's call them lucid dreams that you're having. They started about the time you decided to declare him dead in absentia. You're describing visual, auditory, even tactile hallucination.
He's not the only one, not even close. They declared Walter dead in 2002. I ran into him just last week.
You see me?
Left behind a son who says his dad was taken away by a monster.
It's sleeping.
I saw it. Hallucinated. I saw it. Things go missing in this neighborhood, and those things turn up in one place.
I was seeing things too. They felt so real.
We found a body in the tunnel.
Oh my God.
Always in this neighborhood, you lock the door.
I know how that sounds.
Can you see your eyes?
We're gonna need to question you a lot more.
I swear to you, I could hear him in the walls.
This is available on Amazon and the Prime even. So the Rotten Tomatoes score got 80% from critics and 49% from the audience, which this was one of my favorite up-and-coming horror directors' first feature. Mike Flanagan's wrote and directed it. And I was really proud to screen it at MIFF in probably 2011 or 2012.
Oh, cool.
And it is super low budget. It stars Catherine Parker, who is also in his Haunting of Hill House and lots of TV. Courtney Bell, who's also done a lot of TV, and she was line producer on the film as well. Always a sign of a low budget film when one of your leads is your line producer, because that's a tough job. And
that's a weird crossover.
Yes. And about 30 seconds of Doug Jones.
Yeah.
Cool.
The storyline is a woman and her sister begin trying to figure out what happened to her husband, who's been declared in absentia because he's been missing long enough, but they have no real reason to think he's been murdered. So they're trying to figure out, and a lot of it takes place in this strange, creepy tunnel where a series of disappearances have happened, including where they think her husband disappeared. It is smart filmmaking. It has truly creepy moments. Are pretty good, solid effects, especially considering the budget. It actually has pretty decent effects. It's a rough start. The actors are a little rough in the beginning, but as it goes, it almost feels like he shot it in order, because the actors are kind of rough at the beginning, but as the movie goes on, everybody gets better. And it is well worth checking out. That is on Amazon Prime, Absentia.
Oh.
All right, guys, 3 more suggestions for you to help you get through the pain that we are all feeling. Hey, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. Yeah. Thanks for hanging out with us, all you guys listening.
Yes.
And we will be back in a few short days with a regular episode. See ya.
Thank you. Bye.
Our podcast is recorded at Eric's house, and Vanessa's house, and Kelly's house, and is engineered and edited by Eric Morgret. Our theme music is Strange Aeons Part 1 by the band Nightshade and is used with permission. Find Strange Aeons Radio on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and wherever fine podcasts are found.